Hey, what's up, guys? Just go over some real quick, man. Osprey's quality, dude. And like these books, these are the best books. I have a bunch of these from over 15 years. Um, Informative, right? Lots of photos. Get into the crux of the matter. I thought I'd go over the 10th flotilla, the MAS, right? The special naval assault units of the Italian army, military. Of course, I'm going to go over the Italian and German stuff a lot because that's my heritage. That's my blood. It's funny. I'm kind of for the people that I'm related to. Isn't that crazy? Crazy idea. Everyone else in the world does it. Um, Lots of good illustrations, photos. Of course, the famous, what is that? The man torpedo. Oh, there's suicide torpedoes. Well, no. No, these guys actually would drive these things underneath. And no, the torpedo did not blow up. They actually would put the warhead on the ship and then get out of Dodge and blow it up. Very cool. Right? This man here was the head of it. Of course, this man also was famous. Was it Junio Valerio Borghese? Of course, he was famous also because he was one of the Italians that when the surrender happened in '43, okay, he gave his service to the Germans. He continued to fight. And a lot of the Italians that wanted to still fight the Allies in the Italian Social Republic, which was still 2/3 of the country, they joined this man. And not just the naval units, but the whole military units with a degree of independence from the Germans. Obviously, you can see he has the Iron Cross there. So, of course, controversial right wing figure after the war. Apparently, they said he was going to overthrow the government. So he had, they found evidence. Amazingly, you believe that? So, and he had to leave, and he went to Spain, and Franco's Spain, where he passed away. But interesting dude, gutsy guy. Pretty much going over the 10th flotilla, right? Right, the MAS. I like the idea of the from the early, before even the first war. Uh, the Motoscafo Amato Accelerante, armed torpedo motorboat. It reminds me almost of a Mospita, right? We have the acronym, and the name stuck. Right? So it's interesting looking at the first one. There was a in the first war, there's a tracked assault boat called the Grillo, right? The Cricket, that actually penetrated. It eventually got caught or destroyed, but it overcame 4 of the 5 obstacles. The Italians are crazy making these. They made the first armored cars, and a lot of these weapons they made were kind of innovative. Okay, like this thing. Right? They made a bunch of these, and like I said, these are not like these things are like kind of mini submarines. Like they didn't shoot them, they didn't like drive them into the ships to blow them up. I don't want to see the Z. And they actually had the respirators. Remember before this, you have the guys with the big bells on their heads, in the big suit like in the end of Godzilla, right? But here they had respirators already, portable respirators. These guys had a lot of guts. Okay, not a lot of money, but a lot of guts. And you had the different ones. You had the guys that would do these. You had these, the Gammas, right? The what is it? The Gamma Assault Frogmen. These guys would just go in the water and swim to the targets. Pretty much revolutionizing the idea of frogmen. Right? You also had other cool weapons. Of course, you had submarines, right? But you had like these things here, these assault ramming motorboats, MTMs. And of course, it's like these are not kamikazes, right? The Japanese I know had kamikazes, but your job was to escape at the end. Of course, most likely you're going to be captured, and you're going to see the operations that happen. These guys have a lot of rough starts, okay, but eventually, right, the shining moment comes in. What is this? In 42, May of 42, they pretty much sink the Queen Elizabeth, which doesn't sink to the bottom of the sea because it was shallow. So they were able to somewhat salvage it, but it was out of commission for a year. But had it been deeper water, that son of a bitch would have been sunk. Right, the HMS Queen Elizabeth. These guys took it out. So, and this was the guy right here, and I'm gonna say his name out of honor and respect, much honor, right? Luigi Duran de la Pen, right? This guy is the one who severely damaged it. Like I said, it was, if it hadn't been an Alexandria harbor, if it hadn't been a shallow harbor, that thing would have been sunk for good. You know, I'm surprised they didn't kill the guy. But he got the gold medal for military valor in '44 after the Italian surrender. Okay. Then you have also midget submarines. So you got those literally the submarines where the guys are outside the submarines, but you had midget submarines. Okay, mostly these were in the Black Sea. These were helping fight the Soviets, and they had a mixed record, but they took some Soviet submarines out. Okay, interesting, right? A lot of missions, hardware, right? Yeah, look at that midget sub, right? A 4-man sub. So interesting. So you see that, Then you have the naval infantry. Now the whole thing with the naval infantry, right? They're Marines. They all were around this here. The planned assault on Malta, right? Malta was the base, right? The Mediterranean, the big island nation. And it's cool. You got I like these ammo vests. The Italians call them samurai, right? They're named in honor of the Japanese warriors. Okay? The Italians had a connection to the Japanese more than just the different different cultures, or liking the stuff later, or having kind of like the same World War One level weapons, having no chance against mechanized industries. But right here, look, you see them, right? They got the those are cool, man. I wonder how much those go for. So, now I'll pretty much end it here in terms of, at least in the at the final count here. They have it, right. Okay, this is here with the 10th flotilla, right? A summary of operations shows that between June 10th, 1940 and September 8th, 1943, the Regia Marina Special Assault Craft sank 3 warships, 9 cargo ships, for a total of more than 60,000 gross tonnage. These few sailors with their light craft accounted for 12% of the Italian Navy's total sinkings in the Mediterranean, including mines, and more than 25% in terms of tonnage. Including the ships they damaged, the figures are 38% of the warships and 15% of the cargo vessels. This was at the cost of 20 Italians killed, 53 taken prisoner, and a total of just 238 men. Okay, so that's a lot of damage done by a relatively small amount of gutsy men with some, maybe not the most reliable, but kind of interesting weaponry. Okay, when they sank that ship, the Elizabeth, they damaged the other one. Pretty much, Malta was ready to be attacked. The British Navy was not in any force there anymore after what happened. But of course, that invasion never happened. So I just thought it would be nice to bring up that. And the rest of the book, like I said, goes into the guys of the Marines. Right? And then it goes into essentially, right, you have the surrender. Right? And you got that cool Italian camo. Right? But then when the surrender happens, you get the right. Borghese fights on. Right? The Italian surrender. Okay. A lot of guys. Like I keep saying, a lot of Italian guys are like, all right, I'm done. I can understand that. The ones helping the Allies, I don't understand as much. Even if they, they're getting along with the Germans, sometimes probably wasn't the easiest thing. I'm not gonna lie. But pretty much the guys were loyal, okay, loyal to Mussolini, right? Loyal to the RSI, loyal to Italy, fighting the same guys they've been fighting for the last 2 years. I mean, that's who the respect goes for. These guys are remembered as flunkies and stooges and this and that. But for what they had, they still did a pretty good job. Essentially, they got the Beretta submachine gun. So obviously they don't do as well, but they're facing the brunt of everything. And it's funny how the 10th Mas, now called the X Mas, but it's not called X. That's 10. It's Roman, right? A lot of them become like infantry guys, and you see a lot of their fighting was with the partisans. And if you look at the partisan losses, I mean, listen, partisans caused havoc, but when these guys went at them, okay, some Germans were mixed in with them, but when they went at these guys, man, they tore these partisans up, man, straight up, okay. And you got the Panzerfaust. What is this real quick? Give respect to, of course, the Gothic line. Now, a lot of these guys, where's the naval stuff? Well, they're not. They're fighting. This guy here, all respect to my man here, Mauro Alberto Belangamba, who on New Year's Eve destroyed the Sherman M4 tank on the right with the German Panzerfaust. Good job, Paisan. There you go. So even though it's almost over, and of course at the end, you know, obviously it was a lost cause, and a lot of these guys got killed. And a little shout here to the Full Joy, right, or the Full Gores, or whatever they're pronounced. Angelo, they fought pretty damn hard. Of course, most of the guys from North Africa weren't around. They were captured. Thought this was cool here. You got the splitter, camo. You get all this mixed stuff here, but he's got all the Italian weaponry, right? And they did pretty good for what it was. Angelo, right? Italian paratroopers distinguished themselves in combat. Of course, these are mostly not the guys from North Africa. These are mostly new guys. But the whole reputation of the paratroopers and what they did at El Alamein was always in everybody's mind. Okay, and of course, once again, they put a hurting on those scummy, communist scum, partisans, who I keep saying half of them were criminals from the damn prisons. But anyway, so that's a little looked on. Of course, there he is, Borghese again. These guys are looked at as, scum of the earth and all of this, but these are the honorable ones. Like Evola said, these are the ones who kept fighting. So, and this guy kept fighting even long afterwards in the realm of politics. So, anyway,